Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Friday's art demonstration online for Studio Central. If you're not aware, before we get into what we're doing today, I just want to give a bit of background. Studio Central is an urban art center located in Portage Place on the second floor, just past the Dollarama. You can't miss it. We are a part of Artbeat Studio. If you're not familiar, Artbeat Studio is a not-for-profit registered charity, and we really believe in the healing power of art. We really believe in self-expression and creativity as a path through to mental wellness. And we are just thankful to be here every Friday doing a little online fun stuff with you, whether it's painting, whether it's jewelry making, whatever we happen to be doing, we're thankful that you can tune in with us and follow along. So whether you're actually making art or whether you're just watching, we're happy to be doing this today. So today it's a little bit different. We are going to be talking about something very important. On September 30th, it's the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. That means a lot to so many people. It's impacted so many people. And it really is a day to find healing and to find a path together to find community as we think about what this actually means. So today we are doing a bit of prep work for this. Our locations, Studio Central, Upbeat Artworks, and Artbeat Studio will be closed on September 30th in honor of Truth and Reconciliation. So today we're going to be making some creative things to focus and center ourselves around what this day is. So today, Kate, we have Ollie here. We also have Megan here. We have some Artbeat alumni, Artbeat staff, and we're just going to be doing some work and really thinking about what truth and reconciliation means. So I'm just going to flip this around and Kate will take over. Hi. Hi, everyone.
It's me, Kate, and Ollie's here. And do you want to talk a little bit about yourself to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Megan. I am Artbeat alumni from Group 333. It's been a little bit now, but I'm just glad to be here and excited to make things.
Right on.
And also to, speak about this amazing subject of reconciliation that we are just so blessed to be able to work on here in our society.
Right on.
We're going into some practical ideas of what we're doing. It's not only our part. Our part is preparation and all the messages that can be put on them would be a work of the community. It would be Studio Central participants or anyone who wants to drop in Studio Central to write own message. It would be, there would be a variety of several different things we're going to make today. They're all quite simple because the main thing is how people recognize it. It has to be something simple to write a message on. So the ideas are quite basic. They're not mine. It's what I could find or get some information from other participants or Marissa. Marissa has a lot of ideas, and Studio Central is a great place to learn and get some ideas of what you can do.
Oh, cool.
So the idea of Marissa and Rowan, it was Rowan's work. So Rowan was the first person who did that.
We miss you, Rowan!
We miss you, Rowan.
To take these wooden pieces, we have lots of them, different shapes, and make pins out of them.
Oh, cool.
So I got lots of bags for pins, right?
So making
here.
pins, okay.
So it's one of the things we can do.
Like a brooch.
Yeah. So these ones are longer and they do not really fit the way you would want. So let's say if it's a square, they do fit really well. But if it's a tiny piece like this, it definitely goes out. So I was thinking maybe this lil would work. Yeah, they do. They match. So for little pieces, we can use the silver ones, and for the bigger pieces like this, we could use this another kind. Glue that I would recommend is just a regular crazy glue, but there is a little bit of a problem with using crazy glue around other people because not everyone wants the smell and the finger touch and everything. So what is an option that I have here is the tacky glue, and it says dries clear, remains flexible. Also, I have my own glue from home, the cement one. I'm not sure we can use this. I'm not sure if everyone's okay with the smell, but it works too. Also, when this dries, we can attach, so as an example, I have this here. I can attach another piece and glue it. That's what Rowan was doing. And glue it. So the pin holds better and it's fixated, and glue it again. So it's 2 layers of glue underneath the pin and then another layer on top. Also, one more option is the tape. If someone really wants to fixate it well, you can just use the tape here, a piece of tape on both sides, and cut the rest off, or just cut it out nicely. We got scissors right here, so that's an option. And also another way of doing it, or another additional layer, could be the medium. So we could use the matte medium when everything is on. We could go with a brush, place medium on top of everything. It will add additional glue holding idea, but also it would seal it a little bit more. So from my point of view, it's more for durability rather from looking nice, but it might add some gloss to the back that no one sees. So it's not what we're doing, but anyway, that works and that works. And we have the glazing medium. This is matte medium, this is glazing medium, which is good for the same purpose. We could use either or. Both of them are from Liquitex, and this is the brand that is good for
I love Liquitex.
and also gluing when it's glued already, just stabilizing and making it stronger. So this for cutouts, and another idea that is not mine is to wrap the orange around. But what we're going to do here, we're going to just simply paint. We got paint, we got brushes, so we're simply painting these pieces first and then doing the rest of the job. And when it's completely ready, we're giving it to the participants of Studio Central to write their own messages.
Okay, yes.
Or we can write our own messages too afterwards, and we will be taking photographs. Everything will go either in the garden here for everyone to pick up, or anyone would be able to keep and bring own piece somewhere.
Yeah, once we're done, that we'll be posting photographs of the work that we've actually created today, so then you can see that follow up in the finished product. So
I will give these two as an example.
Cool.
Also the felt. There. So it's all here, so we can cut out. All right, another type of job that can be recommended. We could do the same thing, but make keychains. These are pre-ready from Dollarama. And Dollarama has this, and I think
cute.
Same thing, we could just paint it simply on one side, or we could paint it on both sides, and one side can keep the message, and another side can be saying something else. So it's up to everyone, because I do not want to tell people what to write. Because it's everyone's own idea. So I will be giving this to Studio Central. So everyone who wants to create their own, wants to paint it and go through the very process. But if you want one of these for yourself, you can absolutely pick this up from here and make your own. My idea on what to use for writing is simply a Posca marker. And we got Posca markers at Studio Central. But if someone else wants to use Sharpie or any other material, tonal marker, that's an option too. Okay, I will just bring all this.
Sweet.
I will put them on bags here. And then what else we can do, and again, it's not my idea, but it's a great idea to use clay for making shirts or other shapes. I think shirt is a great idea because it's very easy to recognize where it belongs to, and where it's when someone finds an orange shirt on the street, they would know what the message is about. So the message can be a bit different. It can be saying just stay positive, right? So it does not have to talk directly about what anything specific, but people would know what it's related to. So I think it's a very good idea and option. There are two different types of clay that we have here. I would start from natural modeling clay from Dollarama. It's not the best one. It's not recommended if you want to create something unbreakable, because this breaks. So if you create something from this clay, you need to make an effort to fixate it, unless you want the message to be fragile. So that's an option, and we're not working with this clay today unless you want to try. If you want to try the clay, that's okay, we can open it and try it. And then we have the oven baked clay. This one is drying naturally.
It dries on its own. You do it and you just let it sit out and then it dries.
This one needs to be placed on the oven sheet with baking paper, or I usually use the foil. Just a layer of foil, one is enough. I create pieces, put them in a container, then I put them on the foil directly and bake for, that depends on which clay it is, because Scalpi is different from Fimo. Fimo was 30 minutes, I think, and the Scalpi says 15 minutes per quarter in 6 millimeter of thickness. So we do not exceed 6 millimeter, I think. Or if even we do exceed, it could be 20 or 25 minutes. But I think we can go from what we make. So we make it first and then decide. And the temperature, they say the best is 275 Fahrenheit or 130 Celsius.
Cool.
Why Celsius?
Celsius.
I know it's Celsius. It comes from somewhere.
And how long does it bake for again?
They say 15 minutes per a quarter inch or 6 millimeter of thickness. So I would say we can measure, or we can just simply add 5 or 10 minutes to it. Thinking. So what we do, start with clean hands and work area. Knead clay until soft and smooth. So it would be the recommendation for any clay. You need to knead it first to make it softer to work with it, because it's not workable with right away. So you need to make it softer, and then after that you can shape it. Baking should be completed by an adult. Okay, I guess I'm an adult. Wash hands after use. That's, yes. And what else? Anything else is in languages I do not even speak, so, okay.
Beautiful.
Do we need an adult here, adult around here?
Okay, so the clay, I do not want to use up the ones that are sparkly, because I think the sparkly would be really nice to have, but we want to paint them orange. I do not want to use up these ones because it looks like, look at these colors.
I know.
And the tan can be used for faces, and this is sparkly. So personally, these are all sparkly. I would use these ones.
Okay.
I will keep this for, I don't know, maybe not. I do not remember who wanted what, but we could absolutely use these three. And this one, I'm not sure if someone wants to. Yeah.
I'd do some shaping with clay.
And then I will leave these nice colors for someone else to enjoy the metallic.
And I think these ones too, the orange paint's gonna go on them nicely.
Yeah, so the paint, again, when it comes to the paint does not hold really nicely on this clay unless you know what to do with it. And honestly, I do not want to talk to every single artist right now. I want to talk to every single person, because this is for everyone, not for only artists. And this is what anyone can pick up and do. So this one, first recommendation, if you paint it, you need to know how to seal it the way it does not get off. The paint very easily, it gets off very easily off this clay. It does not stay really well, it does not stick the best. So clay like this, Sculpey, does not even require paint. In this case, we just want to paint it because we want orange.
Yeah.
But when we paint it, it would be sticking better. And also we can seal it with either resin or mediums that we have, glazing medium or varnish.
Sweet.
Okay, so I will just put in this back. And anything we're doing today, I do not say it's super artistic. Again, it's not about that. Staying humble today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like just doing these small things that we can do to honor the Day of Truth and Reconciliation. So, yeah.
So I would think I want to actually make this, just simply paint.
Okay. I think I want to do clay.
You want to do clay?
Yeah, I'll make a
Sure.
shirt.
Yeah, so again, I do not even have the tools for clay that are rolling pins here. So we can flatten them with fingers and then flatten with something else.
Yep.
Or we can smoothen them up with like something like this.
Yeah.
But the main idea is to like free flow mostly rather than making something professional.
Yeah.
We just want a smooth surface, anything else is details. And this kind of tool is for smoothing in the edges, and that's all we need to know basically.
Cool.
Okay. So I am going to take a piece of paper towel because I want to paint it. And some water. So I will be just simply painting them orange. My job is really simple. Okay, and then if you want paper, it's here. Tacky glue is for after, it's not for right now. This. Hand sanitizers for anyone to use, if you just put it on now. We got baby wipes if you want to clean your hands.
Just putting the extra ones over here.
Thank you. Actually, I can get more. I can paint a lot of them.
Sure.
Because after that, central participants would have less work to do on this, but more work on messages. And yeah.
I think I might be a rebel and go with
This one?
that
Sure,
one. Yes.
absolutely.
I have an idea. I want to see if it works. We'll find out together.
Perfect. Okay, so this I can take away for now. I can just put it here because we do not use it right away. I'm just painting things orange. And then I will need this water. And baby wipes are great for using with clay. Okay. I do not need much water. You do not need it on the table as well. Okay. So preference for orange, honestly, I would say the best orange would be the thick orange in the tube that you can buy from Artist Emporium and Michaels. It's not the best case, we have the best case with it, but it's what's available in the Rama. And again, we talk about accessibility, availability, and it's easy to buy it. Not everyone can afford to go to places such as Michael's.
I find even when I have expensive paints, I like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to use these.
I know. Yeah.
I would say if you go to Michael's, take a coupon fun with you.
Yeah.
Everybody's got them
Always, yes, always. So I just use the flat brush like this, and if one layer is not enough, we can always make another layer. So the brush is not the best. I picked up the brush from Studio Central, and someone did not clean it the best way, I guess.
You have to take care of our things.
Well, it's cleaned, but it's not clean to the point where it's actually
Yeah.
soft. So, okay. It works. Oh, sorry. Like here, I just want to actually smoothen it up a little bit with baby wipe.
Something that I always used to do was to start out, if I had trouble, if I knew that it wasn't going to stick as well for the paint at the
Mhm.
end, I would mush the paint into it first so that it has a bit of a, it's almost like priming it, but
Awesome.
not exactly.
That works.
So it'll be a little easier to coat after the fact if it's at least a little bit orange. And then I get orange hands, so.
Aw.
Which makes sense for what we are doing.
Yeah, yeah. That's great.
Wow.
That's
Nice
what I did.
idea. Perfect. Okay, now it's easier to operate this brush. Okay.
If anyone ever has any questions or comments, feel free to pop them down below, and we always check it and we'll try to answer what we can.
Okay, so my suggestion would to paint the edges afterwards, and it doesn't have to be the acrylic paint even. It can be a paint marker, you can just do the edge quickly, but acrylic paint is easier to just go around with a brush and keep it, but this way we can hold it in the center. So I would just leave it for after. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that idea.
And we're not going to take a lot from everyone's time, because I know a lot of artists make something very nice and original for the which is a hat, but preparation is here already. I can see ribbons hanging on the fences, and that's
Yeah,
really nice. So it's already visible.
Such a huge piece of our society at this time.
And it's great, and I'm hoping that, you know, our video reaches further than Canada and can be, you know, something that is not really well known yet in such countries such as USA. I would say it's known about, but it's not very popular.
It's not all over the
Yes,
the
not
media the way that it is here. Their media is so saturated politically that it gets a little bit hard to find details on the happenstances of actual society.
And talking about countries such as Israel, where my family lives, or Russia, or Ukraine, they don't even think about that. They have a lot of things going on right now. So I would not think they were really interested in any of the topics we're talking about today.
I think it really helps us to recognize that each nation has its history and has places where we're capable of growing, where we're capable of learning and becoming more adaptive, more inclusive, more responsive to our needs
Mm-hmm.
and just to humanity itself.
Yeah, and it's like having a question, what happens after you reach your goal? You set up another goal and another goal, and
Mhm.
you work with what you think is the best for that time.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Well, that's so smart, Ollie.
Ready? I was trying to
I
figure
cannot
out
see
how-
because of the paper towel.
She,
Okay.
she drew it in there first, and I'm over here just
Alright.
Yeah.
making a mess of this.
And then the edges can be easily smoothed and with
yeah.
a tool. Yes,
So I did that.
that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna actually switch it up and do.
I'm gonna do that
Yeah.
too. See, we learn from each other. I love
Right?
this.
Yeah.
And we're each using a slightly different medium here too,
Mhm.
which is pretty cool, I think.
And then I'm taking a homework today, so I'm bringing this, I don't know if to call it bunch or I don't know how much we will make. But another option for making the shirt on something is to create, let's say an oval or any shape you want, and then add a drawing to it. So you, if you cannot make a shirt, that's all right. You can always just keep it just simple to the shape and draw on it. And we got paint markers from that.
That's nice.
Water. May I dip this in there?
Sure, but I have cleaner water in, just please.
That
I
works.
have this one.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oops, sorry, I almost squished what a little piece.
No, we're good. We're into this then.
So I do not really worry about the other side to be painted partially because I can always flip it around and paint it over normally, or and it will be in the back. So just worry about the front here. Right, so I do not know if we want to make, I do not think we wanted to make this video very long. And also we close the door while we're making this, while we're talking, but we can open the door for everyone after we're done the main part.
Yeah.
So
See what you mean about this clay though. It kind of takes a know-how to use this.
That's true.
Which is interesting because it's one of the most successful tools, but it takes a lot of
Yeah.
ingenuity.
I'm also realizing I don't think I fully know what a shirt looks like.
this is not looking like, oh, you know what? I think
Looks alright. How's that? Looks shirty?
that looks very
looks like
shirt.
a
That
shirt,
is-
yeah.
that is very good. That is a great brand shirt.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, we'll work on this for a little bit longer, and then
We will be posting the results
Yeah.
when it's all ready. I want to make something very simple here. So I want to just use the glue we have. I do not have the crazy glue. I can always go and buy it if the glue that we have does not work the way we want. My recommendation personally would be a crazy glue or gorilla glue. If someone wants to get the glue that is better, specialized ones, good. Not, again, we're talking about affordability too. So it's the idea for everyone. Oh, I like your shirt, it's so even.
I'm jealous because my you know what, my shirt just fell apart, so I'm gonna just maybe, this clay, I tried it and I'm realizing it is not,
It's not
it
something you
doesn't
want to
work
do.
for, it doesn't work for creating something of a particular shape.
Mhm.
It can be a shape, but not a particular one. And I think that, that, you know, now that we know this, I recommend to anybody out there, please don't use this clay for this. You can try, but it's
You can also get like Crayola or something air dry clay, and I think it's a little better and still not too
That's good.
expensive either.
Which one?
It's like air dry. I think it's like Crayola or something.
Crayola?
Yeah, I have
it's,
some
it's
at
better
home.
than this one for
It's
sure.
better.
Because I think this is the worst clay to use for shaping.
Well, I even added a little bit of water and I did it in different amounts throughout, like as I was trying to mold it there, and it just, nope.
it doesn't work.
Each time it would sort of crumble more and just, nope, it wasn't the adding the paint worked fine. If I were to maybe use this, and if we had like a cookie cutter of a shirt, that would work, and it would actually look kind of cool, I think. But
Actually, shaping doesn't
yeah,
work.
no, shaping it, no.
Yeah, shaping but we used cookie cutters one time, and my problem with the cookie cutters was I would put the clay in, but then when I was pulling out,
It was
thing,
hard to
like,
keep it
Oh,
together.
it's hard to
that's
keep it
why-
like.
That's why you would use the water. So you dip the powder in the water first,
Oh.
and you do it a little bit at a time. So you sort of like you put it in the water, put it on the clay, and sort of tap it lightly
Yeah.
first, and then you keep putting it back again with more water
Cool.
as you go.
This clay, I think what we can do with it, we can just shape circles. And people can use it for messages as well, and painting.
They can be
and-
like little
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah.
It does look really cool with the orange stuff.
Yeah.
I like the
Let's see.
texture of
The
that.
just like that.
Oh
with the-
yeah, it's like adding that. Here, I'll show you.
Mhm.
So this is Meg is using the clay, the other clay, but she's added color, actual acrylic orange into the clay as she's like squeezing it and mixing it around. So it's actually getting like a really cool effect. Almost looks, yeah, marbled, like neat. Right on.
Like some piece went in. Oh, it's probably a piece of wood. It was not as smooth that it was just, okay. Can always remove this and paint over. Okay, I think we will have quite a bit of them, it looks like.
Yes.
So it's white.
Well, also this clay I find in particular for myself, it's very, you get focused.
fluffy?
It's so focused,
Yeah.
like really. Whereas like other demos when we're painting, it's just like I can shout at the story.
So with this, you're like, oh wait, if this goes the wrong way.
A lot of focusing. Okay.
Beautiful. I like, oh, you're getting so many done. That's great.
It's amazing.
I'm taking my time, I'm not working too fast, I'm just taking my time here.
So in terms of these, our little clay shirts, this one's turning out good. I'm liking it.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Nice.
Do we wait for it to dry or do we paint it? When do we paint it?
We paint it only after it's out of the oven,
Yeah.
and we do not want the paint to burn in the oven, right? So we
Right,
want
right,
to,
right.
bake it first, take it out of the oven, wait for it to cool down, and only then it can be painted.
Yeah.
And then after that paint, recommendation would be to seal it, add resin or the sealer's varnishes that you can
Okay.
imagine.
Well, I'll take these home then,
Sure.
and I'll bake them. So I'll take all these and.
Oh, I got an additional tray for that.
Okay,
so we
good.
could put them in a tray.
Yeah,
and
so
you can take
I can take care of that.
Awesome.
Good, because I've never baked clay and I want to bake clay.
Sure. Perfect. I got less work to
It
do.
can kind of smell icky, so just be aware of that.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes. But the one thing I always sort of say is with clay, because I used to bake it quite a bit, if you leave it in a little bit too long, it can start to brown. But you can sort of sand it off very lightly, or you can just paint over it. And it can add a little bit of it can add a little drama to your piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I think my pieces have enough drama. I'm having a drama with something I made. I put resin in the center of my garden, and I covered it, and I was checking on it. There was nothing. It was clear. The next day, I look, and there is a bug inside.
Oh.
It's not really visible. It might not be even a bug. It's just a little piece of something that is in, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to do
Yeah,
something different, because I do not want, this piece is just, I probably just paint on top of that,
Yeah.
because I don't want it to be visible. I don't, so, as I say, I have enough drama. Oh.
This reminds me of what I was doing with Pop of Orange.
I do not know what it is. It might not be a bug. It's just a little tiny piece of something, and it just went in for some reason.
Well, I mean, it was bugging you, so that's a little bug.
It's some flavor.
As they say, protein. Alternative proteins. You know.
Again, if you do not like the touch of clay, you can always use gloves. You might not like the touch of gloves, that's different, but yeah.
Yes, I've never used the Sculpey before, but like the textures are too bad.
I love the Sculpey,
Yeah.
I love it.
It doesn't like stick to your hands as much as
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. It's great kind of clay. What I made with that was not too complicated, but I found it's very smooth to the touch. Yeah.
It's definitely nicer than this other one.
No. And Fimo and Sculpia, the ones I tried. Okay, and we have 2 weeks, but again, as James said, we're closed on the Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Before that, we have 2 weeks for everyone to come over, and if you want to make your own pin or write a message on a shirt. I'm not sure the shirts will be available to everyone because we do not have too much clay.
Yeah, they'll be limited, but if
But
you...
pins, I'm leaving all those bags, all those brooch bags there. brooch bags, sorry. And they would be available at Studio Central for everyone, as well as these ones. So anyone can paint on, write on message, seal it, and either put it in the garden or keep it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, last year we did, I think we made ribbons and we put them all on the outside of Studio Central. So we'll be lots of activities focused around.
And Marisa probably keeps some of her secrets of what she's going to do. I don't know everything. So. Oh, nice.
Oh, good.
I sort of pulled out some of the fibers of the felt. There's something about fabrics that always make me think of human rights issues, because things as simple as our clothing and the fibers that are utilized in what we wear are so indicative of our social status and where we are in this world. And you know, the resources, or whether what we are wearing is handed down to us or bought new in a store, or the finest of silks versus, you know, rags. And I think that there's a lot to be said when, you know, I know, well, especially, you know, for our Truth and Reconciliation, these children were often stripped of their identities, so their clothing, because it was so tied to their culture, that they were thrown into things that were not of their culture. And so fabrics, in my mind, are very key to this discussion.
Yeah, and I think that it also talks about something that can be uncomfortable, because not everything can be comfortable, and we need to talk about every single thing that is not working the way it's supposed to, and not everyone can see the issue, so it has to be spoken about, even if it's comparably way lighter than what it was. But now we have issues that are definitely not what was 10 years ago even, and it's really hard to even discover some of them, because not everyone wants to talk about something that is ongoing. But
it's hard. It takes a lot of courage, because I mean, we live in a society where people have been punished for discussing these details, and I think that, you know, in some ways we're blessed and in some ways we're cursed that this is a subject that's even on the table, and I think you can understand why. But the fact that we are able to speak up and speak out about it is the whole purpose of Truth and Reconciliation. What reconciliation even is, I kind of feel like it's the same as the concept of healing. Sometimes healing isn't always coming out without scars or without wounds that are still visible. Sometimes it's coming out with an adapted way, like a new adapted way, a way forward with the knowledge that we have now. And there has to be, you know, modesty to that in terms of our respect for one another and for where people have been and where families have been that have led to the people that are here. Because we've all been impacted in some way or another.
Yeah, as for me, as a person who comes from a different background, I did not grow up here. I grew up in Ukraine, and what I think about might be very different from people who grew up in Canada or even in USA. Speaking English makes it easier to connect, right? I did not speak English in the countries I lived in, and the first one was Ukraine. I was born in Russia. Then I lived in Israel for a long time, and I was speaking Hebrew, and language gives this accessibility to information. So if it's not in English language and it's not translated into another language, how would you know?
Exactly.
So we're talking about hard work that some of people do that is not very noticeable, but they translate messages to another languages. Artists have a little bit of the benefit here because artists can create something visual. Not everyone can.
Exactly.
So we are talking about accessibility of information that not everyone wants to say, because languages have different tricks, let's say. So
Yeah.
some translations are not perfect. So there should be a person who knows how people can also accept the message.
Yeah, and not everyone has the same education as well. Like I know
Right.
me growing up, like we did learn a lot about like truth and reconciliation and a lot about you know the background of stuff, but my parents like didn't even hear anything about it in their school. And like my mother's still living now. I'm like, this is like very like everyone knows this, but it's not true.
Yeah, it's not at all, because when I talk to people from somewhere else, especially someone who just left Ukraine to temporarily live in another country and come back or not, and the person I was talking to wanted to come back when it comes down, if it's possible. So it's really hard to process that. And you know, when people deal with something like that, they probably cannot even think about anything additional. So they're not behind, they will catch on definitely. But we need to consider that when something happens in the region, all the information like that does not go the same way as.
You know, we all have different vantage points, and each of us can bring a new perspective.
Yeah, especially in the case when someone comes to a new country, learns a new language, and works. Yeah, it's a lot of new information. So I would think, let's just take it easy and consider that everyone has their own challenges to deal with.
Yeah.
It's all looking really nice.
There we go.
Beautiful. Let's see.
So yeah, I'm really hoping Oli will take several nice photographs.
Yes.
And we can post them. The results of what we made here today, but also the results of what participants of Studio Central made.
For sure. So I guess we will. It's about 2:00 now, so we'll wrap it up. So we are going to keep working. We can see Ollie there working on the clay shirts. Megan working with those pieces. Beautiful.
Her little fabric-y.
Beautiful. And then Kate working on hers.
Just doing very simple.
And this is all, it's all prep. So in the end, these are going to be words of hope and words of reconciliation are going to be written onto these pieces. Some will be brooches. Maybe some will just sit in the rock garden. We don't know. But this prep is really good as we prepare for September 30th, for the Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Yay. Here, I'm just going to pull this back. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll look for the pictures. We'll be posting the end results, and you'll be able to see where these pieces are going to be coming to. So have a great weekend, everyone. And yeah, have a great weekend. It's Friday. I always forget that. So, all right. Okay. Bye, everyone.